Taehyung stood behind Jungkook like a silent wall hangs behind his back, scanning the crowd. It was another late evening on set, bright light everywhere. People running with scripts, makeup kits, cables, food tray. Jungkook couldn't. Drama prince sat in his chair while Jin, his manager, fixed his. Jungkook was handsome, dramatic, and loud. Taehyung was quite strong and steady. People liked to joke they were complete opposites, but somehow Taehyung always understood Jungkook without many words. As usual, Jungkook was complaining. Jungkook, why does every chair feel uncomfortable today? Jungkook, because you are sitting in all of them. Jungkook turned his head slowly. Eyebrow rise, huh? Taehyung didn't look away, not even a small smile. Jin burst into laughter. Jin, Taehyung, you're getting easier every day. Taehyung answered calmly. Taehyung, I only speak the truth, but Jungkook wasn't angry. In fact, he liked it when Taehyung talked back. Most people treated him like a gem. Taehyung was the only one who treated him like a normal human. And maybe that's why Jungkook looked at him a little too long sometimes. As the shoot ended, a young female staff member brought Jungkook warm drink. Staff, Jungkook, see, here is your ginger tea. Jungkook smiled politely. Taehyung simply lowered his eyes, but when the staff looked at Taehyung and blushed, Jungkook suddenly straightened. Jungkook, Taehyung, don't smile at everyone. You are on duty. Taehyung blinked. Huh? Taehyung, I did not smile. Jungkook, you did. Just now. Very slightly, I saw. Jin covered his mouth, hiding a grin. Jin, Jungkook, you are jealous? Jungkook, me? Jealous? Of who? Why would I? Why would I? Taehyung, stop looking at her. Taehyung titled his head. Taehyung, I'm not looking at her. I am looking at you because you are talking. This made Taehyung feel silent. Jin whispered to himself, oh, this is going to be fun. Shadows run late into the night. By the time they finished, it was almost 2 a.m. The three of them got into Jungkook van. Jin sat in front, Taehyung sat beside Jungkook in the back seat. The lights of the city passed soft thought on the window. Jungkook, Taehyung, yes, Jungkook. You look tired. Are you sleeping well? Taehyung shook his head. Taehyung, sleep is not important. Jungkook, it is. Taehyung, look out the window. Taehyung, my job is to stay awake for you. Jungkook didn't know why, but those simple words made his heart tighten. Taehyung always said things like that. Quiet, sincere, and dangerous. Jungkook, don't say things like that too easily. Taehyung, why? Jungkook, because it sounds serious. Taehyung turned his head and made his eyes. Taehyung, I am serious. Something warm passed between them, too soft to name. When they reached Jungkook's apartment, Jim left them and headed home. Jungkook stayed silent for a moment, playing with his keys. Jungkook, do you want to come up for a bit? Just a drink. I am lonely tonight. Taehyung hesitated. He usually went straight home, but Jungkook was sounded softer than usual, almost freckly. Taehyung, if you want me to I will stay. Jungkook's shoulder relax. The night in Jungkook's house was soft and quiet, the kind of quiet that made every breath feel louder. Uh, uh, Then it should. A warm yellow light glowing from the living room lamps and outside the glass window. The city lights twinkle like tiny stars. They walk into glass, one filled with orange drink or himself and one with the Jungkook juice earlier. Jungkook was sitting on the sofa, his back slightly touched, his eyebrow relaxed in the way Taehyung didn't see often. He looked tired, not the physical tiredness, but the kind that comes from carrying feeling for too long. Taehyung placed the glass on the table. Taehyung, Jungkook, here is your drink. Jungkook lifted his hand slowly, his eyes slightly hazy from the Jungkook, Taehyung, come with me. Taehyung hesitated. He always kept a respectful distance from Jungkook when he drank, but tonight the tone in Jungkook's voice made something inside him soften. Taehyung sat beside him, leaving a small space between them. Jungkook looked at that space, then looked back at Taehyung with a sad smile. Jungkook, why? Why do you always sit far from me, Taehyung? Because you are my boss and I am your bodyguard. Jungkook laughed softly, but it wasn't a happy laugh. It sounded lonely. Jungkook, bodyguard? Boss? Title? Even give me title, but no one stay with me. Then looked at him carefully, noticing the redness in Jungkook's eyes. Then, you drank too much, Jungkook. Maybe, but maybe not enough. Jungkook picked up his glass again and took another sip. Then held the glass gently and pulled it away. Then, enough, Jungkook. Your health. Jungkook slowly leaned closer, his voice softer. Jungkook, Taehyung, do you know I always feel alone? Taehyung frozen, something heavy set in Jungkook's heart, and it was finally breaking thought. Taehyung, Jungkook, what happened? Jungkook leaning his head back and started at the ceiling. Jungkook, my parents, they died when I was small. I didn't even remember their voice. Sometimes I try so hard to remember, but everything is blurry. Taehyung chest tightened. He had guarded Jungkook for months, but Jungkook never spoke about his past life this. Jungkook, everyone seen me as someone strong, someone who has memory, someone who has power, but no one asked me if I am okay. He turned his face towards Taehyung again. Jungkook, Taehyung, do you think I am okay? Taehyung shook his head gently. Taehyung, no, I think you are hurting. Jungkook's eyes softened with unshed tears. Jungkook, you always understand me. Why? Taehyung took a slow breath. Taehyung, because I see you not as your boss, not as someone powerful, just you. Something broke inside Jungkook. He whispered, Jungkook, Taehyung, if I say something strange tonight, don't be angry. Taehyung, just tell me. Jungkook leaned closer, his face inched away. Jungkook, I don't want to be alone anymore. Taehyung frozen. The room felt warmer suddenly, the air heavy with something delicate and sweet. Taehyung, Jungkook, you are not alone. Jungkook searched Taehyung's eyes. Jungkook, then stay with me just tonight. Stay close. Taehyung heard them loudly, but he nodded. Taehyung, I'm here. I won't leave. Jungkook exhaled softly, a breath that sounded like relief. He leaned forward slowly, gently, almost as if giving them time to pull. But Taehyung didn't move, their forehead touched. Jungkook whispered, Jungkook, Taehyung, why do you look so warm? Taehyung tried to smile. Taehyung, because I am human. Jungkook, you are not just human, you are someone who make me feel safe. Taehyung's eyes widened slightly. Jungkook never said things like this. The moment stretched, and then Jungkook leaned in and pressed his softly against Taehyung. It was warm, gentle, careful. Taehyung inhaled sharply. His heart beat too fast. He placed his hand on Jungkook's shoulders. Taehyung, Jungkook, wait. But Jungkook whispered against his lips, Jungkook, please don't stop me. Taehyung closed his eyes. Taehyung, you are drunk. Jungkook, I still know what I feel. His hand cupped Taehyung's cheek gently, not forceful, not demanding, just holding him like he was something precious. Taehyung felt his strength melting. He whispered again, Taehyung, Jungkook, Jungkook. But it was too late. Jungkook him again, but still soft, still tender. Taehyung's finger curled to Jungkook without realizing he wanted to stop him. He wanted to protect him, but that didn't feel wrong. It felt like something they had been running from. Jungkook pulled back just enough to look into Taehyung's eyes. Jungkook, Taehyung, do you hate me? Taehyung shook his head quickly. Taehyung, no, never. Jungkook smiled, a small smile. He gently rested his forehead against Taehyung. His arms slowly wrapped around Taehyung. Jungkook, then hold me, just this one. Taehyung had sounded like warm clay. He wrapped his arms around Jungkook, pulling him close. Jungkook relaxed instantly, like he had been waiting for this comfort forever. They still like that, breathing softly against each other. Jungkook lifted his hand again, eyes foggy but sincere. Jungkook, Taehyung, close to you? Really close? Taehyung felt heart rising in his chest, but he nodded. Taehyung, yes, you can. Jungkook leaned in again, was slower, softer, full of unspoken emotion. Taehyung him back this time. His hand glided gently to Jungkook, steady and warm. Jungkook smiled into like he finally found something he had been searching for. Their mixed breath. Everything after that slowed down into gentle closeness, soft, warm hand whispers, two hearts slowly opening, faded gently into warmth, into comfort, into the quiet closeness they both longed for. No rush, no fear, just two people finally allowing themselves to feel. The night ended with Jungkook falling asleep peacefully in Taehyung's arms, his fingers still holding Taehyung's hand tightly as if afraid of losing him, and Taehyung stayed awake for a long time, pressing Jungkook's hair softly, whispering, Taehyung, I'm here, I'll stay. The room was silent, but their hearts were not. They were finally not alone. Jungkook woke up first. His mind was foggy. The night was a blur. He touched his head. Jungkook, oh, what happened? He remembered drinking. He remembered leaning on Taehyung. He remembered talking too much. But the big part, the important part, was missing from his memory. Taehyung was already up, full dress, quiet as always. Jungkook, Taehyung, Last night, Tehung simply bowed his head slightly. Tehung, do not worry, Jungkook. You do not have to think about it. Jungkook, did I say something strange? Tehung, you were drunk. You said many things. It is fine. Jungkook felt embarrassed was over him. He hated when he lost control in front of Taehyung. Jungkook, did I do anything foolish? Taehyung looked at him for a long second. Then he said softly, Taehyung, nothing I regret. Before Jungkook could understood what that meant, Taehyung stepped back. Taehyung, I will wait outside. And he left. Jungkook pressed a hand onto his chest. Something felt wrong. Something felt missing, but he didn't know what. 2 weeks later, Taehyung stood alone in a quiet clinic. The doctor spoke gently. Doctor, are you expecting? Taehyung breathed, stopped. His hand touched his belly unconsciously. Taehyung, me? The doctor nodded. Taehyung sat down slowly. This child was from that one. The night Jungkook didn't remember, and Taehyung had no idea what to do. He thought of Jungkook, rich, famous, straight, easily misunderstood by the world. Taehyung whispered to himself, Taehyung, he will think I want something or that I trapped him. He closed his eyes. He remembered Jungkook's soft word that night, but he also remembered the way Jungkook didn't recall anything in the morning. Taehyung's heart hurt quietly. Taehyung, he forgot, so maybe it meant nothing to him. He decided in that moment he would disappear, not out of anger, but because he thought it was the kinder choice. Taehyung resigned from his job quietly, no explanation, no message to Jungkook. Jin was shocked, Hobi was confused, and Jungkook was furious. Jungkook, he left without telling me, without even saying goodbye. Jin tried to calm him. Jin, maybe he had personal reason. Jungkook, I don't care. He can't just leave. He stopped biting his. Jin stared. Jin, yours? Jungkook looked away. Jungkook, I mean, he is my bodyguard. He can't just disappear, but his voice, he didn't understand why it hurt so much. 4 months later, Jungkook tried to move on, but something felt empty. Taehyung's absence was louder than his expression. Every morning, Jungkook expected to see him. Every night, Jungkook waited for him to knock on the door, but Taehyung never came. Until one afternoon, Jungkook's phone buzzed. It was Hobi, a single message. A single picture, Taehyung lying unconsciously on a hospital bed, a nurse holding pregnancy paper beside him. Jungkook's heart dropped. His hands shook as he opened the next picture. Taehyung holding his stomach, weak, pale, pregnant. Jungkook, Taehyung. He didn't think. He didn't breathe. He only felt one thing, fear. He grabbed his car key and ran. Jungkook, Taehyung, don't be hurt, please. His voice cracked. He didn't care who saw. He didn't care about reporters. He didn't care about anything else. He need to see them now, and he need answer. Jungkook didn't remember how he reached the hospital. He only remembered the sound of his footstep echo in the empty hallway, his breath uneven, his finger tightly holding the phone with Taehyung's picture. His heart felt too loud, like it was hitting his on purpose. At the reception's desk, a nurse looked up in surprise. Yes, sir, may I help you? Jungkook, down. Came down. He was brought in. Where is he? His voice shook without his permission. The nurse blinked, recognized him, and quickly checked the computer. Nurse, he is in room number 407. But Jungkook didn't wait for the rest. He ran. He reached room number 407, his hand trembling as he rested on the door. He didn't know what he would see inside. He didn't know what he would hear. He only knew one thing. He was scared for them, for the truth, for everything. Slowly he pushed the door open, then lay on the bed, half sitting, eyes closed, and Ivy attached to his arms. His face looked tired, peeled in a way Jungkook had never seen before. His hand rested gently on his stomach, almost protective, like he was shielding something precious. Hobie sat beside him, worried, feeling his whole body. When Jungkook stepped in, Hobie stood up immediately. Hobie, oh, Jungkook. Jungkook didn't look at him. His eyes were to Taehyung. He walked forward quietly, as if afraid that Taehyung would disappear if he moved too fast. Finally, Taehyung opened his eyes. He frozen. They stared at stared at each other. Neither speak. Jungkook's chest tightened painfully. Without thinking, he whispered, Jungkook, Tae. Taehyung blinked slowly. He didn't smile. He didn't speak. He simply looked tired, and somehow that hurt the most. Hobie stepped forward carefully. Hobie, I give you both a moment. Don't fight. He left quietly. The room fell into silence. Taehyung lowered his eyes. Jungkook walked closer, but he stopped just a step away from the bed. He swallowed his voice soft and answered Jungkook, Why? Why didn't you tell me? Taehyung didn't answer immediately. His finger tightened around the bedsheet. Taehyung, there was nothing to tell. Jungkook breathed gosh. Jungkook, nothing? You fainted. You didn't even look at me. You left without a word. Taehyung stopped him with a calm but tired voice. Taehyung, Jungkook, you forget. Jungkook frozen. Taehyung continued, his tone low and even. Taehyung, that night, it meant nothing. It meant something to me, maybe too much, but you wake up and look at me like nothing happened. You ask if you did something foolish. You didn't remember anything, not one moment. Jungkook felt his heart drop. Taehyung looked up, eyes steady, even thought they looked hurt. Taehyung, so So I thought maybe forgetting was the best answer. Maybe it means nothing to you. Jungkook stepped closer, shaking his head slowly. Jungkook, hey, I didn't forget because it meant nothing. I forget because I drank too much. I forget because I was scared the morning after. Scared I said something embarrassing. He looked down at his hand. Jungkook, I didn't know. I forgot something important. Then wash him carefully. But Jungkook wasn't done. He lifted his eyes again. This time there was a softness in them that Taehyung rarely saw. Jungkook, you should have told me. Taehyung exhaled quietly. Taehyung, I thought you would misunderstood, and I don't want to trouble you. Jungkook deeply. Jungkook, you fainted alone. How is that not trouble? You are carrying? He stopped, his voice suddenly breaking into a whisper. My baby, he said like he still couldn't believe the words were real. The hand moved to his stomach unconsciously. Jungkook sighed. His eyes softened. He took another step closer. His eyes watered immediately. Jungkook, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Taehyung blinked in surprise. Taehyung, why? Why are you crying, Jungkook? Because you were alone. Because I wasn't beside you. Because I didn't know. His voice cracked. Jungkook, you should never be alone. Not with this. Not with a baby. Taehyung lip trembled slightly, but he looked away to hide it. Jungkook sat beside him, not too close, not too far, just enough. Jungkook, tell me everything, please. Taehyung sang softly. He explained the doctor visit, the shock, the fear of misunderstanding, the decision to leave. He didn't speak dramatically. He spoke simply, honestly, the Taehyung way. When he finished, Jungkook looked at him with a pain-filling expression. Jungkook, you thought I would think you wanted my money? Taehyung didn't answer. Silence was answer enough. Jungkook leaned forward, his voice thick. Jungkook, hey, you could ask me for anything in the world, anything, and I would give it to you, not because I am rich. He pushed his chest, rising. Jungkook, but because it's you. Taehyung eyes widened slightly. Jungkook continued softer. Jungkook, I'm sorry for every moment you thought you had to hide. I'm sorry you were scared. I'm sorry you fainted without me there to catch you. Taehyung whispered. Taehyung, I didn't want to become a burden. Jungkook, you are not a burden. You are the one person who made me feel safe. I'm supposed to protect you too. Taehyung eyes softened for the first time since Jungkook walked in. After Taehyung discharged, the doctor recommended fresh air. Jungkook offered to walk with him in the hospital garden. Taehyung moved slowly, holding his stomach lightly. Jungkook, how long have you been feeling sick? Taehyung, since the third month. Jungkook eyes widened. Jungkook, and you deal with it alone? Taehyung, I manage. Jungkook, no. From now on, we manage it together. Taehyung looked at him quietly. Taehyung, I'm not used to being cared of. Jungkook, then he leaned because I'm not leaving. He said it softly but with full throat. Taehyung stopped walking. Taehyung turned to him. Taehyung, why? Jungkook took a step closer. Their breath touched. Jungkook, because I like it. Taehyung breathed Jungkook took another step. Jungkook, I like your quiet, I like your strength, I like how you act annoying when you are worried. I like how you look at me like I'm just a normal person. His voice softened even more. Jungkook, I like you. I think I always like you. Taehyung eyes warm with emotions he tried to hide. Taehyung, Jungkook, let me finish. He reached out slowly, touching Taehyung's cheek gently. Jungkook, I'm sorry. I didn't tell you sooner. I'm sorry I forget that night, but I didn't forget you, not for one day. Taehyung swallowed hard. Taehyung, I was scared you would regret being with me. Jungkook, I only regret not loving you earlier. Taehyung's heart trembled. The wind moved softly around them. Jungkook held Taehyung's face with both hands, now gentle and warm. Jungkook, I love you. Taehyung breathed soft. For a moment he didn't speak. His eyes softened, then warm, then filled with something like relief. Taehyung, too, his voice was quiet, but it carried more truth than any loud declaration ever could. Jungkook smiled, small emotion, a bit shaky. He leaned his hand forward, forehead touching Taehyung's. Jungkook, can I you? Taehyung closed his eyes briefly. Taehyung, yes. Jungkook leaned in, gentle, slow, giving time Taehyung to pull away. Taehyung didn't. Their made soft, warm, full of apology, relief, understanding, and something new between them. Jungkook had moved to Taehyung's stomach, resting there with care. Taehyung placed his own hand over Jungkook. The world felt quiet, peaceful right when they separate. Jungkook pressed a small to Taehyung's forehead. Jungkook, let's rise our baby together. Taehyung nodded, eyes formed. Taehyung together. Jungkook smiled, holding Taehyung close, careful of his belly. Jungkook, I won't let you go again, not even if you run. Taehyung leaned gently, lightly against him. Taehyung, then don't give me a reason to run. Jungkook, I won't. They walked back towards the hospital building, finger pressing together softly until Taehyung finally let Jungkook hold his hand properly. A gentle, new kind of happiness settled between them, a beginning instead of an ending, a family rested to fear, finally found in the right place.